here with RealTruck.com. Today I'm going to show you how to assemble the K2 Storm Snowplow. Got everything out of the box and laid out so we can put our K2 Storm together. As you can see here, it comes with everything you need to get this thing installed and built to put onto your vehicle. Now, the first step of the procedures for putting together our plow are to take the bolts, washers, and the lock nuts that come with it, which you will find attached to the end of one of the plow halves. So we're going to put the plow halves together, and make sure, guys, when you put this together that you get it lined up so you don't have one upside down, because your neighbors would all laugh at you because that'd look pretty silly. Now that we've got our two halves put together, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to attach our scrapers. And as you can see, they come with the bolts already in them, so you don't have to be looking around trying to find where the bolts are. Now when we put these on, to make sure that you put these on with these facing out to the front and your nuts going towards the back, so that way they don't get packed up with snow and ice. You can see there's three pieces. Two of them are short ones like this one, and then you have the long one. The long one you want to center over the two halves, just like so, and then the short ones will go on each end. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to install the plates for our skid shoes, and they install right here on the bottom side of your plow on the back. And what you're going to do is you're just going to attach them so that they sit like this. So you can see how this is shaped at an angle. You want that angled up, so that way when your plow is sitting, then these skid shoes, when they go on, will set level with the plow. We can go ahead and put our skid shoes on. I'm just going to put those on here. And what you want to do when you attach these is make sure that you set them, because they are adjustable, that you set them so that the bottom cutting edge of the blade is about a ½ an inch off the ground. We've got our skid shoes onto our blade. The next thing we're going to do is attach our D brace to our A brace, and what we want to do when we do that is make sure that we attach this the right direction. Otherwise you'll have to end up taking it all apart and starting over. What you want to do is you want to attach it, as you can see these ears are up, and we're going to attach it so that the long end is on this end where this bolt is, because this bolt and spacer and washers we actually use to attach this together. So I'm going to put this up on here, and then what we're going to do is drop this bolt, washer, and spacer down through the center of here, and attach this other washer and the nut to the bottom of this. What we're going to do next is we're going to take this T-shaped receiver, and we're going to attach it to our A-frame with these pins. And slide through the ends, and then if you look down through the holes here in the middle, you can see where you can line them up to put the bolt and washer through, and then on the bottom you have another washer and this lock nut that we're going to put on the bottom of here. We've got our receiver adapter onto our A and D frame combination. The next thing we're going to do is bolt our winch to our winch support. And the way you do that is with these 4 bolts that come supplied with the kit. We're going to remove these from here. All right, once we have these all in place where they go, then we're going to go ahead and tighten these down. And once we have this winch attached to the winch mount, now we're going to take the winch mount and we're going to attach it to our framework that we have laying over here on the floor. So let's get this over there and put this on. We're going to attach our winch mount to our framework. Now if you'll notice, the package comes with 5 bolts in it. One of them is larger than the other 4. Well, the larger of the 5 bolts is going to go right back here in this back hole. And the rest of them are going to go up here in the front. And we're going to get this into place. Get our bolts through. And then we're going to tilt this up to get underneath the bottom side to attach the nuts. Once we have our winch mount all tightened up and attached where it goes, the next thing we want to do is take this U-bolt out from here. All right, and then we're going to, once the U-bolt is out, we're going to put it through the strap, and then we're going to reattach it using the supplied bolts or nuts and washers. Guys, as you're attaching this strap and putting it through this U-bolt, make sure that when you tighten this up, that you don't tighten this all the way up. You want this to have a little bit of slop and be a little loose, just so that a way your strap can actually move around on it. So we're going to tighten it up a little bit, but we've got our winch hooked up. Next thing we're going to do is attach our blade to our frame. And what we're going to do is just take these cotter pins out of here. Once we have these pins out, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to get our assistant to lift up the blade part for us while we attach the mount. All right guys, once you get the pins in this, then you can go ahead and put these cotter pins back in. Just do is slide them through and bend them over. Once we have our blade attached, then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to attach our casters. Now if you notice when you get your kit, the casters, if there's 2 different types, one of them is a fixed, well actually 2 of them actually are what's called a fixed caster. The other one is actually a spinning caster. This one goes on the back on the A-frame. These 2 go on the front on the D-frame. So we're going to attach these. And we want to attach these from the bottom side, which means we have to pick up on the plow and slide these in. All right, you can set it down. Okay, lift up on this side just a little. Lift it up just a little bit, Josh. All right, now we've got our casters adjusted and set on here. So the next thing we're going to want to do is to attach our springs. You can see these are pretty easy to put on, not too tough. Once they're attached, then what we're going to do is we're just going to tighten them up a little bit. And what I like to do is just initially set them so that you have some of the threads coming through the nylock nut. Bring the inside one down, lock it down, And then what that'll do is that'll allow us to make final adjustments once this is on our plow vehicle. We've got our springs on. The next thing we're going to do is attach our blade angle locking release handle. And it just simply goes on right here. Getting almost done with our assembly here. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to put our snow deflector on, and we're going to use our brackets. These are called battens, and we're going to use these to batten down the snow deflector. So we're going to put bolts in all of them but the very end ones, because that's where our marker wands are going to go that stick up to let us know where the end of our plow is. Everything's ready to go now. We need to install our marker wands. And what these are for, in case you don't already know this, these are so you know where the edge of your plow is, so that you guys, so you don't bang into your wife's car or the side of the house and make the wife mad. So anyway, here we go. We're putting these on here, and they just go in the very end bolt hole, and we just attach them the same way we attach the battens for the snow guard. We just attach our safety chain, and it just attaches to the hole in the bottom of the winch plate, just like so. And if you look on the ends of the motor, you can see that they're marked plus and minus, positive, negative, red, black. So we're going to go ahead and attach our plug to our motor. We have this wire loom that's supplied in the kit that we're going to put our wires inside of. You can see it's really easy to do. Cut this off. All right, now that'll keep this wire all nice and neat, tucked away, out of the way where it won't get caught up into anything, and be ready to go. So there you have it, guys. Other than the rest of the electronics, which will go on the plow vehicle, this plow is all put together and ready to go. So let's take a look at what it looks like all together.
See what I mean? It's a risky job.
It sucks to be the video guy. Hey guys, John here with RealTruck.com. Today I'm going to show you how to install the electronics for the winch for our K2 Snowplow onto our 2010 F250 Super Duty. As you can see here, the kit comes with everything we need to get this installed onto our truck to operate our winch for our plow. Comes with our control box, which also has the leads that go to our battery and to the plow winch. It comes with the mounting bracket, goes on the bottom of your control box so you can mount this on. It also comes with your wireless receiver and your wireless transmitter if you want to use wirelessly. It has the battery that goes with it. And also, if you're not going to hook up the wireless version, it also comes with your control switch that you just plug into your control box, plus all your hardware for mounting this thing up. Find a location where we can actually install this. As you can see here, this being a diesel, not much room under the hood. So what we've come up with is we've come up with a location right here on the front by the headlight where we're going to be installing our mounting bracket for our control box. So we're going to install the mounting bracket, get our control box on here, and then we'll start actually hooking up the wires and show you where those go. So. once we have our bracket mounted, then we can put our control unit box onto the mounting bracket. Okay, then we're going to want to take our wires that go to the power, run those up through here. Now that we've got our wires running up here to the battery for our control unit, we're going to go ahead and hook those up. Okay, now if those are hooked up, at this point we can go ahead and start running our wiring for our plow that hooks up to our plow. And what we're going to do is we're just going to find a nice comfortable spot for this wire to lay down in here where we can kind of strap it out of the way. We're using some zip strips. We'll zip strip it in and run it down where it'll come out by our hitch. All right, once we've got our receiver hooked up for our wireless remote, the next thing we got to do, because if you try using your wireless and it doesn't work, well, you got to take it out of this protective cover that it comes in, remove the back, and install the battery, because without the battery, it just ain't going to work, guys. So it's kind of a little tough to get out of this case, but that's okay because this helps protect this so that if you drop it, you don't break it. There we go. That's better. All right, once we have it all installed, then it's just a matter of plugging this bad boy in. And we'll want to make sure that you raise your wheels. All right, guys, there you have it. That's how easy and simple it is to install the electronics for our K2 Snowplow. Now, when you get this plow, something to keep in mind, this plow comes with the electronics, comes with the plow, everything you see here. So it's also has to be assembled. So if you need to find out how to assemble the plow, see our video on how to assemble the K2 Snowplow. And the one thing left to do now is to play around with this thing and see how well it works. So until next time, remember, happy motoring. Okay, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make this plow go up and down. Yay!